Hi, welcome to our podcast session. I'm Veronica, the host of this program, in which we are going to talk about 3D printing at the point of care industry with the experts in the branch. We would like to also invite you to check our website, 3dpointofcare.com, where we post the latest news and advancements in the industry. So, let's move to our episode. Today, our guest is Martin Herzmann, who is working in the medical 3D printing industry for more than 20 years now. Hi, Martin. It's good to have you with us today. Once
Hi, Veronica.
again, hi. Once again, thank you for participating in our podcast program. We know that you are working in business development at Kumovis now, and that you have quite a lot of experience in other companies before. So let's start with introducing yourself to our listeners, and after that, we can continue from there.
Thank you very much for the warm invitation. Yes, I'm thankful to share some insights. In regards to my person, I joined Kumovis end of last year, end of 2019, and am working in medical business development. Kumovis is focusing on medical industries, and 5 years before, I started at Materialize, setting up the German-speaking market. For the medical area, and that was my first contact to the 3D printing industry at Materialize. Before that, I was 8 years busy with medical imaging intraoperatively, so I was really spending a lot of time in the OR. For that, in 1999, I started my medical career at BrainLab. In those days, BrainLab was a startup as well. With 100 employees, kind of rapidly grown, and I quit BrainLab after 8 years when they had 1,000 employees. So I don't expect to make this steep growth of employees with Kumovis within the next month, but I do see that we are growing rapidly, and the demand in the hospital and in the industry for 3D printing in medicine is growing, and the demand is there.
I see. Thank you for such a broad introduction about you. So maybe you can tell us also more about Kumovis. What are you doing out there, and what is the technology behind 3D printers? Can you tell us more?
Kumovis is a company founded 2017. Founded, I would say, in parallel to the MDR introduction. When the MDR was released, the company Kumovis was founded as well. So we grew up with that compliance regulatory framework. We started as a manufacturer for a 3D printer, 3D printer for high performance polymers, but we kind of quickly realized that the hardware itself does not enter any OR, does not enter any industry. You have to have a broader understanding from material science to printer as a core to understanding clinical applications. And when you reach out to industries, you sometimes even have to redesign or start from scratch designing your materials and your shapes, which means we currently develop together with industry partners scalable blueprints based on high-performance polymers, which can replace or add titanium implants, titanium applications, or start new instruments, new guides made out of polymers. We do filament printing. Filament printing means we add layer by layer in a clean room environment. We create those models or those instruments, those implants in clean room environment, layer by layer, with materials such as PEEK, which is the most popular, but as well PPSU, PEKK, PEI, better known as ULTEM, and plenty of resorbables, which can be then implanted directly into the body.
I see. Okay, so talking about materials, what kind of materials your machines can print? Like, for example, medical materials, industrial, or anything else that you want to mention?
Well, these medical materials, I think, are very, very important, because if you look into these ISO compatibility for the biocom tests, we use materials which are really released for medical on the whole broader scale, which means in toxicity, in regards to biocompatibility, there's a broad scale of test environments you have to perform before you are released for human use. So from body contact to interim body contact, contemporary body contact, into implantable grade materials. We offer a broad range of materials, and we use a broad range. We don't offer them exactly. Evonik and Solvay, our partners, are the material suppliers, and they provide the documentation in regards to sterilization, in regards to biocompatibility, in regards to all those necessary documents you need to be able to enter on a serious scale the implant and the instrument level for production.
Great, thank you. And also, can you tell me what classes and types of medical devices can your printers produce? And are there any kind of examples that you can share with us?
Well, we mainly focus, let's say what we are not focusing on. We do not focus on anatomical models. We see a lot of printers, and anatomical printing is very popular and very helpful, for sure, no doubt about this, but Kumovis is not looking into 3D anatomical models. We are looking into higher risk class medical products, which are mainly implants, which are then class 3, or guides with being class 2B or class 2A, guides for resection, guides for tumor resection, guides for osteotomies, as well as guides for oncology application, where you have radiotherapy seats for brachytherapy, for example, where you need radiolucent material, which is guiding the radiation to the tumor bed. So those are the risk class, I would say 2A, 2B, and 3 are our main focus. And in regards to specific applications, personalized implants in the craniomaxillofacial area and neurosurgical area is very concrete from our end. So a cranial plate is a very concrete product you can see from Kumovis. As well as spinal cages, and those spinal cages are not patient specific. Those spinal cages are serial production, and those are industry partners we are working here. We talk about plenty thousands of spinal cages they produce and they design together in close cooperation with us, to be produced then in polymer material and not in titanium.
Sure, I understand. And how do you imagine Kumovis technology being used at the point of care? Or is it being used right now? And what possible value can it bring to the healthcare centers?
Yeah, so the value for a 3D printer in the hospital certainly is the personalized medicine. You can serve personalized medicine and add a huge value for the individual patient. This technology certainly has a big future and great future in terms of vision, in terms of a mission for a surgeon, for a doctor. It can be used for patient-specific and personalized medicine in regards to resection guides, as I would say the first example, because resection guides are temporary used, anatomically specified guides. And as a second step, implants. The implants have a higher risk class, and therefore risk management in the hospital probably is one of the challenges we will probably talk about later. This is kind of something which might be considered as a roadblock for our hospitals. We are in contact with plenty of hospitals right now, and today, unfortunately, not yet. We have not yet one installation, as we had the first installation in 2019. Which means we are too young to present a large scale of installations so far. However, we see a great demand and experienced even during COVID and Corona times that hospitals want to gain independence. And a 3D printer which is capable of producing implants without any delivery chains, without any relationships to foreign countries, adds a value which has been seen during Corona and COVID times a lot, and I would not say benefited, but we at least gained a lot of audience during the last weeks and months, and lots of projects have been started to raise to gain independence again, and not only to serve patients with personalized medicine, but to start thinking of independence from the hospital side. And this is where we benefit from.
I see. Thank you so much. And what is the challenge? And the challenge actually that you have to, that your technology has to overcome in the hospitals, and how do you plan to overcome that?
Yeah, one challenge certainly is the regulatory framework. Everything that is technically possible does not mean it is legally allowed, which means today hospitals printing medical devices, and they are not aware of the circumstances that they are medical device manufacturers. They simply do it because it's technically possible, and you see the technical advantage. However, the regulatory framework certainly is one of the main challenges, and we certainly want to stick to those regulatory framework because we see it as a necessary environment. Otherwise, we would create a weird world. So this is certainly one of the biggest challenges. And the second challenge, hospitals are as fascinated as they are about 3D printing, as streamlined they become in regards to efficiency and economical mindset, which means you need to have somebody to run the 3D printer to start the designs, to understand both the clinician as well as the engineering part of 3D printing, which means we believe you need a dedicated person in the OR, in the hospital environment to run a 3D printer, which means additional stuff and additional hardware is needed. And sometimes it's easy to install a machine, but you have to have somebody who runs the machine. And this education of biomedical engineers certainly is a necessary skill set you need to find in the hospital, because the surgeon himself wants to have the results, but the engineer needs to have the skills to allow the surgeon to get access to this implant, to this guide. And therefore a new job position, I would say, must be created within the hospital environment, which can be the biomedical engineer or somebody who is running the 3D printer.
Yes, definitely. Martin, thanks a lot. That was my last question. Or is there anything else that you want to add or mention before we finish our call?
I would like to mention that I see a bright future for 3D printing at point of care, as well as personalized medicine as a service from industries. So I'm excited how this market will develop, and I see it's a very, very agile market. So therefore, I'm thankful that somebody has an eye on it, and I will certainly follow your activities and be one of your first followers from scratch on. So thanks for setting it up, and thanks for making a platform available to look into this agile markets in detail.
Great to hear that. Thanks a lot, Martin. I think this marks the end of our session. It was a very interesting conversation. Thank you once again for being for us today, and we hope to have you once again in our program. We wish you all the best going forward with your amazing journey at Kumovis.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to our podcast show. If you like it, visit our website 3dpointofcare.com and stay tuned for the next sessions. In the meantime, leave us comments, subscribe to our newsletter, read our latest articles, and let us know what you would like us to talk about in the next episodes. Have a great day and bye.